but a guy that I think KU fans obviously are going to love because of his background with Kansas. But I think he's going to bring a lot to the table from the NBA perspective. A guy that's been in the game for nearly 20 years now, 10 years playing and 10 years in the coaching side, 10 to 12 years coaching side, who's going to understand what the NBA wants out of players. And I think from a developmental standpoint, he's going to be very crucial for the development of Kansas basketball moving forward. We have spent 10 years saying we need a guy like Danny Manning back to help develop the big men, to get them ready for what's next. And Jacque Vaughn, while he's not going to be the big man developer per se, he's going to come in and help these guys prepare for the next level because he knows what is required of an NBA player at the next level. So I'm ecstatic.
Keegan really hit it on the head with, just his experience and getting guys ready for the next level. That's what this game has really evolved into. Keegan started off by saying the NBA is really, it's a different game than college. And I think we've all known that, but I would counter that by saying that that's been more true in years of past. Like now with NIL and everyone getting paid, and it's this free market and the transfer portal. Oh my goodness. College basketball is turning more and more into the NBA. As much as I hate to say it, it's becoming a lot more like the NBA.
It's becoming a professional league for sure.
It is. So now we're kind of to bring in a name that has been in that NBA stratosphere, teams that have struggled. I mean, I'm not going to look at his coaching resume and look at it and think, oh man, like he can't coach in the NBA, so he can't coach in college. I mean, it's just it really is two different beasts. And I think it's an age thing. I think it's a talent thing. I think it's a culture thing when it comes to repping your school, and there's just so many factors. But I don't think you can discount that we are taking a guy that has been a head coach in the NBA. There's only I love what Derek Johnson was saying on Locked On Jayhawks about it, that there's really only 30 head coaching NBA spots in the entire world, right? And there's hundreds and hundreds, thousands of college coaching jobs, right? Like across D1 and D2 and all these divisions, and you're looking at it, all of a sudden it's like, man, you can suck in the NBA, but you can be really freaking good at the college level. This is a good thing for this program. This is someone with experience. This is someone with the winning attitude that we've wanted. I mean, when he was a player at Kansas, he ran the best team that Kansas has ever had.
Yeah, probably the most talented team we've ever had.
He ran the show. Yeah, he ran the show. If you run the show for the best college team that a program has really ever had, arguably the best team that a program has ever had, I like you. Okay, he's very dominant, and I would love to have that mentality on our coaching staff, and now we have it. So I can't really complain.
No, I really like this hire. I mean, and I agree with everything that JB said about JV. I mean, not only does he bring the mentality that this team desperately needs right now, especially in this whole world of NIL and those things. You got a guy in the NBA that's experienced and has coached in the NBA, and also got one of those 1 out of 30 NBA jobs. I mean, it's not like everybody gets an NBA job. So I mean, he's been coaching for a while. He's full of experience. I mean, getting a guy that's played on the team too and is a former KU alum. I mean, he's or rather a KU alum, not a former KU alum. I mean, like having a KU alum now on your coaching staff, it's a big plus. And so having a guy that's played basketball at KU and has coached, at the top level for so many years, I think it's going to elevate this basketball squad. Hopefully it does. I mean, I know the fan base can't take 3 more years of, this whatever's been going on. I mean, they need to change. And I think this is a step in the right direction.
You got to think about like the guys that he has had as a coach or coached alongside. I mean, my God, Roy Williams, come on, man. Like
he coached Jalen Wilson. I mean, look at what Jalen Wilson's doing right now in the NBA. I mean, it all started with Jacque Vaughn, sophomore year. And he's doing really well.
Exactly. I mean, and like Coach Pop, oh my God. Like you want to talk one of the greatest coaches of all time. I think that
he's the GOAT.
He's at the very least in the conversation for
Yeah.
greatest of all time in coaching. So it's like, and now he's, he gets
Best coach ever.
Now he gets to work alongside Bill Self. Like, man, he didn't play for Bill Self, but now he can work alongside Bill Self, and it's very, very sweet to see this all coming together. So
other benefits of Jacque Vaughn. Obviously, the NBA stuff I think is huge. You look at the team a couple years ago when Jalen Wilson was the focal point. It was a very NBA style offense. Having KJ being the small ball five, going with athleticism, pick and roll, the short roll to the base side, getting mid lane jumpers open when need be, and moving the ball a lot. That's a very NBA spread type offense. Now, because of roster decisions the last 2 years, I think Bill Self was a little limited in how the offense could look. And I think KU fans as a whole want to see something that is more aesthetically pleasing, first off, watching. It was not very fun watching the offense the last 2 years.
no.
And I think Jacque Vaughn's going to bring a lot of that because of the way the NBA style plays. There's a lot more motion. There's a lot more free range movement of guys around. Showcasing athleticism, and KU's got a lot of athletes on this roster now. So I do think the offense is going to see an uptick as far as style. I think this is a guy that he's not going to come in and just run exactly what Bill Self wants him to run. He's going to bring ideas to the table and say, hey, here's things we should try. Here's things I see that are effective with this type of player. Here's things we should try. And you think about a guy like Darren Peterson, who's going to have the ball in his hands a lot. Jacque Vaughn should be a guy that has a lot of ideas on how to run an offense with a player like that, considering a lot of players in the NBA have the ball in their hands all the time. So I think the offense is going to be a big focal point with Jacque Vaughn being here and developing a more NBA-ready style offense that helps guys pick up the NBA style quicker, but leads to a little bit more up-tempo, faster pace, smoother offense, which is something I do think Bill Self also wants to run. I think you could see on his face last year there was so much frustration on his face that things weren't working. And he was not just throwing the hands up, but a lot of the, sitting there like, man, these guys just can't run what I want them to run because they're not skilled enough athletically to do that. So I think that's going to be a huge bonus moving forward. Obviously, from the fan base perspective, young or old, Jacque Vaughn is one of the most beloved Jayhawks in KU basketball history. And he's going to be one that the fan base as a whole is going to get on board with completely. They're going to surround him with support. There's probably going to be a lot more donors out there. They're going to give some more money back to Kansas. He's going to be a great focal point to the fan base, a voice to the fan base from that perspective to get behind and rally behind. Because he, like JB said, probably on the most talented Kansas basketball team, definitely the most talented team to not win a title, first off.
Yeah.
But one of the most talented teams we've ever seen in Kansas basketball history, which was probably before Austin's time because he's an old man now, but he's just enough of a baby that you would have missed that time. So that's going to be huge for the fan base.
I feel like it.
I think he's also going to be able to connect with the players well because of how he has to relate at the NBA level with his guys. He has to deal with a lot of egos and agendas day to day. And coming back to the college ranks where it's much more of a team-friendly mindset, but with the way NIL has brought in to the game, there's a lot more individuality and egos building in. So I think Jacque's going to be a good guy to help maintain that. And I think he's going to be a guy that's just going to come in and players are going to learn from him. They're going to respect him. Not that they weren't respecting the guys before them already, but they're going to see, hey, you had a little bit of NBA success. You're one of the greatest all time to play here. We're going to listen to what you have to say. So a lot of benefits with Jacque.